Being a tourist is fun. I can take a trip to some exotic land, see all the sights, ooh and ah, and then walk away with no obligation to it. Even if I go to the Holy Land, I can go to the Mount of Olives and gaze upon those 1,000-year-old olive trees and look at the sights overlooking Jerusalem, and then I can walk away saying, my, that was beautiful. Or I can visit the Mamertine jail where Paul was. I can go in, duck my head, see where Paul was, and then leave and say, my, that was simply awful. And then I go away. I have no obligation beyond that because I'm a tourist. But you see, when Jesus was on the Mount of Olives, he was not a tourist. He had a vested interest. When Paul was in Mamertine prison, he was not a tourist. He had a vested interest. They were there for the purpose of giving of themselves and realizing that there was a commitment to the whole world, and they were honoring that commitment. Jesus to the point of giving his life, Paul to the point of giving his life. And it's through the blood of Christ that we know redemption and salvation. When Jesus was on the Mount of Olives and at Mount Calvary and in the garden tomb, he was not a tourist. He was simply a sojourner. And Paul, not a tourist, but a sojourner. I hope that you and I can remember that we are not tourists upon this earth, that we're simply sojourners. And there is something more waiting for us, and let us live as sojourners and not just as tourists. Thanks for watching Don Howell, today's Light and Love from Liberty.